see you there. I'm CiCi, CiCi the Irony, celebrity chef and dead animal devourer. Welcome to the No Sugar Coat Cooking Show. Today we're going to be making a 3-course dead feast featuring some of our favourite animal carcasses, and yes, they have been dead for weeks. For our starter we have a British favourite, Eggs Benedict. But of course, I source the salmon organically from the Scottish fish farms, which keep our suffering salmon in cages riddled with delicious disease and flesh-eating lice. So what we want to do is place our poor unfortunate soul into our frying pan. Eating fish feels like a real sense of accomplishment, knowing that we have contributed to the plastic plague of the oceans. Ooh, there's now more microplastic in our oceans than stars in our galaxy. All because of these delicious meal fixes. For some reason everybody blames the plastic straws, but that only makes up for 0.3% of it. There's also the fact that the ocean is the #1 source of oxygen for our planet. Oh, how dare it give us life? Luckily, we are taking away our luxury of oxygen by dragging fishing nets the size of 6 planes across the seabeds, which also wipes out millions of other species in the process, like those annoying endangered dolphins. Luckily, dolphin safe labels are a lie, because really there's no way of regulating it. There's also the fact that 40,000 sharks are killed every hour because of our lust to cure the oceans of the fish problem that it has. Our salmon here is done. Yep, nice and hot. So what we want to do is just place this onto our muffin. Yummy. Love the taste of mass murder and planet destruction in the morning. Now, whilst that's all been going on, I have been boiling this water here, keeping that nice and simmered, nice and hot, so we can crack our shelled embryo into it. Now, we just let that boil, really burn away the sin, you know? Now, we as humans love slaughtering innocent and defenceless lives, so you'll be pleased to know that in the egg industry, millions and millions of those yellow, fluffy, annoying are sent chirping down a conveyor belt into a grinder. This is because they're male and not really good for anything, of course, so they are grinded alive. Lovely, this is hardened nicely. So now we just place our chicken period onto our dead fish, and voila, our breakfast edible graveyard is complete. Now we move on to our main, a classic, very easy to make burger, aka consumable coffin. Now I am actually using shop bought buns, which is a little bit embarrassing, but who has the time to make your own bread when you could be standing in the corpse and severed limb aisle of the supermarket? Sometimes I just like to stand there and take in the gore. Which brings me to my prime cut of beef. I'm sure you'll really be able to taste the cancer-causing carcinogens and chemicals. If you eat meat, your chances of getting cancer are 1 in 2, and your risk of diabetes goes up by 51%. We as humans love danger, so it's a real win. Now we're just going to grab our lettuce and tomato, which will really complement those toxins. And there's also that unethical spice to beef, and as we place our cut into our pan to sear, I'll tell you why. The industry has cleared out 550 billion square meters of that hideous rainforest. 1 to 2 acres are cleared every second, and thank God, because nature takes up far too much space. 91% of deforestation is because of our lust to eat meat. Livestock contributes to 65% of CO2 emissions, so you don't need to worry about cruising in your cars, all the while you're eating omnivorously. Our ugly earth is way too gorgeously polluted for the double standard. It looks like we are just about done, so we can actually begin stacking our murder tower. First you want to open those flaps of bread and place in our poor cow. Cover it in a lovely deft duvet of lettuce and tomato, and it should look a lot like that. We are done, so we can get our satisfying 10 minutes worth the earth. Duh. Finally, we have arrived at the finale of our 3-course death feast. We're going to be making ice cream, aka frozen bodily fluid. Now what you want to do is grab some of that scary dairy and pour it into a bowl. Grab yourself a whisk or any sort of utensil and have a little bit of a stir. Humans are so creative, the only ones on earth to drink the milk of a whole different species. A bodily fluid designed by nature purely for the rapid growth of a newborn calf. It's crazy that cows don't live purely for us, that they don't produce dairy on a constant rate. Oh, but honey, it's much more beautiful than that. We forcibly impregnate the cows over and over and over, and then mercilessly murder their babies. Isn't that gorgeous? Now that's done, so we're going to pop it into the freezer, aka the home morgue. But of course, here's one I made earlier. All dairy contains a large amount of pus. 1 litre can have hundreds of thousands of pus cells until it is deemed unfit. Yummy scrummy pus in our tummies. And as that concludes our 3-course death feast, it is time to say goodbye. I hope after this episode you can enjoy all of these delicious meals even more so than before. Disclaimer, pretty much everything I mentioned in this video is 100% avoidable by following a vegan diet, which I'm absolutely not condoning because ethical living and moral compasses make me sick. Join me next time where I'll be making a roast dinner starring my neighbour's dog. I'm CiCi the Irony. Happy cooking.